their business. Don't be that way. Call. Because you truly,
always call.
We are truly,
always call.
We are all truly the children's voice. So keep that in mind. If you do see it or witness it, definitely give that number a call. We got to run to break, everyone. Bottom of the hour, man. This hour is just flying by. We come back. We're going to talk a little bit more, of course, or a lot more about this movie with Erin Lee Carr, and we're going to find out exactly who Gypsy Rose was. Was she exactly sick? Who was she, and what did she do? Be right back right after this.
Something to do with your time, something to do with your peace of mind, something to do alone, nothing to do, so won't you pick up the phone? You turn me on, you tune me in, even up till dawn, here we go again. You turn it up straight to your head, and I never live, and you're better off dead. Radio red, I'm radio.
Hey, you're listening to After Hours AM, and if you're listening to us via podcast, make sure you like us, follow us, review us, tell your friends about us, tell grandma about us, and keep listening.
Hi, Tom Bodette. If pop culture is to be believed, roughly 40% of all people are actually vampires, or dating one. Well, undead or not, you can always save on a clean, comfortable room at Motel 6, even if you sleep during the day because direct sunlight turns you into a pile of sparkly coffee grounds. Speaking of which, we have free coffee every morning. You day sleepers may want to go for the decaf. I'm Tom Bodette, and we'll leave the light on for you. Book online at motel6.com.
Anavar Media LCC is a dedicated team of professionals committed to helping business development scale and protect their websites, mobile applications, enterprise software solutions in the Northeast Ohio area. Locally owned since 2012, our client-centered values truly sets Anavar apart. Contact us today to learn how you can get 25% off your first project. Call them at 234-380-4852. Again, that's 234-380-4852, or visit them at www.anavar.com. Again, that's www.anavar.com.
This is Jen McGowan, founder of Wayward Souls Promotions, a company dedicated to helping individuals, teams, radio shows, and others that are seeking exposure for their individual events, conventions, and shows. We offer a wide variety of advertising, such as web-based article, social media posts, podcast advertisement, and so on. Contact us at paranormalpromotion@gmail.com, visit us on Facebook at Wayward Souls Promotions, and visit our website at www.waywardsoulspromotions.com.
If you're listening to After Hours AM, do you have a question for the guests or even the host? That's really easy. Go ahead and email those questions to afterhoursam@gmail.com. Are you feeling like picking up the phone and being part of the show? Call us at 612-326-6874, 612-326-6874. Come be part of the madness. And welcome back to After Hours AM, everybody. I'm your host, Joel Sturgis. Right along with me,
Eric Olson and
Dr. Clarissa Cole.
And we are better known as the Three Amigos of True Crime. And tonight we're talking with director of Mommy, Dead, and Dearest, Erin Lee Carr. When we left off, we were kind of investigating who Dee Dee was, Gypsy Rose's mother. And, of course, as we found out, Dee Dee suffered from Munchausen's by proxy that she, again, projected upon Gypsy. Now, Gypsy was not exactly everything she was cracked up to be either, was she, Erin?
You know, no. Gypsy is a lot of things, but a simple sort of damsel in distress is not one of them. The film paints her, and you know, it has its complications. who she is, why she did what she had to do, and how do we as an audience feel about her. I do believe that she is a survivor.
Yeah, I agree with you. I do, but she's also now a convicted murderer, or at least accessory to.
Mm-hmm.
But wouldn't you?
First 10 minutes of the film,
no.
I was already saying yes. I'm sorry.
I want to say you got me there. I mean, did I feel that she had some right to exact revenge upon Dee Dee? Yes, I did.
Was there any way out? Go ahead, Joel.
After being subjected to that. And yes, Eric, great, valid point. Why not just run away?
Was there a way out?
What resources did she have, though? I mean, she was so infantilized. Like, just hearing her voice and how little girlish it sounded. I mean, this is, certainly not a normal age, Like, most of us at 18, 19, I think we would kind of know what to do, how to get out. Would she?
Erin and Clarissa, man. First, Erin, great film again, man. It really has us talking. So keep them coming. And we love your work, and we can't wait to see what comes next. Oh, my gosh. I cannot wait to see what you bring out next. But that being said, wasn't Gypsy complicit to some of this at some level? She knew. She knew that she wasn't ill. I mean, wasn't she a little bit complicit? Come on.
So, yeah. I mean, I totally understand your perspective, but we have to rewind it and think about this and say, not a single one amongst us, even I hope not, even your viewer or listenership, we don't know what it's like from infancy to be watched, to be looked at, to be told that you need to be in a wheelchair. She tried to run away. She was physically and emotionally abused after that. Yeah, try to walk away. Try to tell people what's happening to you. And, you could be murdered. So I think that it is really important that we don't sit in judgment and sort of, say that she's guilty, she could have run away. I really don't believe that. Yeah. I think that, she tried to run away. She couldn't do it. Her mom had her rights taken away from her and assigned to herself. I mean, this was insane.
I would
think
agree.
Oh, go ahead, Joe.
No, you go ahead. Absolutely. No, I bet you. I'm just in awe right now. I really am, Erin, and you got me. And that doesn't happen often. And really, really, really thought-provoking stuff.
The next step, I mean, looking at Munchausen's and the trajectory, I mean, I think that Gypsy had reached the age of physical, certainly, maturity, and she was starting to act out mentally and emotionally too. I mean, my best guess is that Gypsy dying was the logical next step. And plus, they have to keep ramping up the disorders. They have to keep getting more and more serious as the child ages to get more and more sympathy. So,
true.
For Gypsy to fear death, I think is a very realistic.
Well, okay. Now
option.
we fast forward a little bit, and we go to Gypsy as a young adult, and she meets a boy. Am I correct?
Yes, she meets a boy online on a Christian dating site. Okay. ChristianDatingForFree.com.
Wow. I didn't even know it existed.
Either.
I thought you had to pay to be a Christian.
Yeah,
dater.
I would have thought for sure that would. I thought for sure you'd have to pay for that. So she meets who would have killed him, or her rather, that did kill Dee Dee. Nicholas. Go
to John.
There it is. Go to John. And now he had his own bag of issues, so they say.
His own bag of issues, yes. I think that is the exact right way of putting that.
Good job, Joel.
His own bag of crazy is what I wanted to say, but I wanted to be kind of sympathetic,
And that bag
there's no way. Like his parent, I think it was his parents that came in and said that he was Asperger's. That was sort of their explanation. But then the more we got to see of this person, there's no way that was the only issue. There's just no way. That is not consistent with Asperger's.
And we don't ever, I mean, we were very, the editor, Andrew Kaufman, and I thought about, is us putting in that's what his parents thought he suffered from? That's the reason. Are we saying that this is why he did it? No, it's not. Nicholas Godejohn is a severely mentally ill young man who, basically made it through high school but could not work. He spent all day online. He could not hold a job. You see in the police interrogation tapes, which had never sort of been seen before, by anyone in the public. He is a young man in nature. He stopped growing at a certain point. I know that this is a really strange thing to say, but he is a victim in his own way. Like, had he met somebody else on that site, I don't know if he would have murdered anyone. No. It's just there's so many tragic consequences as a result of Dee Dee's actions. Well, he's in prison and is likely to remain in prison for the majority of his life. He's his trial will be coming up soon. I hope he does not get life. Gypsy certainly did not.
Yeah,
he we'll get to that.
Has some violent ideation though. And
vampirism at one point.
I'm sorry, I'm a violence risk person. That's all I do for a living. His violence risk evaluation would not have gone well. I can say that. Right. With a fair amount of certainty just based on what I saw. So I do think that meeting Gypsy was kind of a terrible thing to happen. But do I think he never would have committed violence? I don't know about that. I only say that because of some of the very violent stuff he seemed to be drawn to just naturally. I mean, BDSM isn't supposed to be thought of as violent, but I think he probably did. And then talking about the rape fantasies about Dee Dee, that's a little bit concerning.
That was really twisted, that part of it, to me. And then of course he talked about being a vampire at one point, which, hello, here's your bag of issues again. That's one of them out of that treat bag. And then of course the Munchausen, or not the Munchausens, but the Asperger's, he really was, again, in some ways, I think you guys brought it up perfectly, another victim of Dee Dee Blanchard at the end. Yeah. Because had that not been happening, she never would have been on that website hooking up with someone with his own issues. But then she was now, according to what he was saying at some points, most points, that he wouldn't have killed Dee Dee had it not been for Gypsy telling him to do so.
Well, he wouldn't have known her, I would think.
Yeah, but even when they said, would you have killed her if Gypsy wouldn't have told you to, he says, probably not.
Clearly, he did it for her, I don't know. I know we don't want to give away too much. I mean, this is a true crime. The results are out there in the real world, so I guess we've kind of given away the fact that yes, she was murdered, and yes, Gypsy was involved, and all of that.
There's so much more.
Yeah, there's tons more, more.
Exactly.
There's a very interesting McDonald's moment that we're not going to mention yet.
I love a good McDonald's moment because it's just a true crime story about McDonald's. But yes, we will not talk about your McDonald's moment.
Well, and if you can't, imagining, that's the thing about Gypsy to me that is so fascinating is that if you have not seen somebody that has been made sick or been made to feel that they were sick, like you think of a normal, even not normal, 20-something-year-old, early 20-something-year-old, and what they behave like. Gypsy is nothing like that. I mean, you really do have to see it.
No, what I saw was someone that was smart like a fox.
But also infantile. I mean, just young, emotionally.
Yeah.
You're right. She's incredibly, I think, probably incredibly manipulative because she was raised by someone incredibly manipulative and at the same time has the emotional IQ of somebody that is so much younger.
Well, Erin, what was your knee-jerk reaction to meeting Gypsy? I mean, did you have that feeling? I mean, what was your feeling of her?
Yeah, I think, I will be honest, I was really nervous before I met her. Just, when you're interviewing somebody in prison, when you're making a film for HBO, all of these things, 100 things need to go right in order for the interview to look beautiful, to sound great, but also for you to get that raw emotion. So I was focusing on that. And then she comes in this little girl voice and she says, "Hi, Miss Erin." And, she has handcuffs on. Yeah. And I just was like, wow, this is a insane job that I picked for myself. Which Gypsy am I going to meet today? And, I agree with you guys. She is IQ level, very smart. But she just has this thing where she she acts like a little girl. She wants to figure out what you want from her. Every single person kind of met a different Gypsy Rose. I don't think she knows that she's being dishonest or manipulative. I think it's ingrained in her personality. And, I think it's